Hello, everyone. It's Yehudit Steinberg here once again, and this is day 4. Today, we are going to do the tangle IDOZ, and it is the newest tangle from Zentangle headquarters, which came out July 15th when they had International Day of Zentangle, which is how it got its name. This is the pattern IDOZ and the step out that we are going to do. As we begin drawing IDOZ, remember it's not too late to join the Sunday Mandala Challenge. When you sign up, you'll receive a PDF guide with 31 tangle patterns, step-by-step instructions, and 3 instructional videos to help get you ready to put your mandala with a watercolor background for the challenge. And we meet 5 Sundays on Zoom, which are recorded, and you will have access to those recordings if you choose to join us on Sunday and want to review our meeting, or if you can't make it on a Sunday, you will have the recording as well. So this year we're adding watercolor backgrounds, and there'll be lots of tips and support. It's a great group. Now let's dive in to IDOZ. I want to show you the materials that I'll be using today. So for the drawing of IDOZ, I'm going to use my Micron PN, and for some of the finer details that we have, as you can see over here, I will use my Micron 01, and I'm using a Statler Mars Lumograph 2B for my graphite, and I have a small tortillon that I'll be using for my blending tool. I love this tango, and a number of the people that are in the art lab, they love it as well. So what we do on all of our videos when we teach a new tangle is we have a step out, and this is the step out for IDOZ. I'm going to set it up here for you and take a screenshot. This is where we're headed, and look how beautiful it is. And it does look like it. If I didn't know how to do it, I would say, well, how did they do this? So I'm not going to put a string or a border around here, but what I did do is I did put kind of an X lightly on my tangle tile, so that I could kind of center these little, I'm going to call them a floral. And the first step then is to create a petal, and we're going to do that by coming to the center and then come back around. Then I'm going to turn my tile, and I'm going to repeat. Now I'm showing you the most simplified version. This is if you watch Zentangle demonstration that Rick did, and there's another version that Maria does, and I'll list that video here so you can check it out later. But what I'm doing is I'm going to really put them in the center. I wanted to make that a little more of a bubble, but you see that right here that this one is overlapping, and that we call draw behind. Now, the next step is that we're going to come and we're going to put a petal or and um, on the left side. And I'm going to do this on the left side of all of these 4 petals that we made. And I'm going to do all on the left. Now let's put a petal on the right. And they don't need to be even. We just, they just come in as as you have space for them. We're going to make another, we're going to do another round of side petals here. So I'm going to start at the top. And have it fit in. And the third one, fourth one. Now we're going to do this on the other side. So I've completed the basic drawing of IDOZ. Now let's take a look at what we have, where we're headed. And I'm going to switch to my O1, my Micron O1 pen. And in the center here, we have an aura. And we did auras with Crescent Moon the other day. So we will now use that again, that technique again in this video. Take your time. Remember to breathe. If you have any questions or comments and you happen to be on the live, I will answer them after I've drawn this today's tangle. I've been so impressed with all of your drawings that you have been doing and posting. It's really great to see all of you drawing. So I'm going to put a few orbs in the center. I'm going to fill in some of these areas that have some spaces here for a little drama. Also here, there's a bit of a space, so I'm going to give it a little drama. Then I'm gonna turn my tile again. Remember, I turn my tile because I like to keep my hand in the same position that it draws best. So we work on small paper that allows us to do that. If I had a 18 by 24, it'd be awfully difficult to be turning it. So the other reason that we work on smaller paper is because really instant gratification. A 3.5 or a 2-inch tile allows us to complete our drawings in one sitting. And these 2-inch bijous are great if you want to have like a 15-minute daily practice and draw a tangle a day. You can do that within that time period. So especially when you're new and you're starting out, I know a lot of you have have been watching videos online, and they have these big projects for you to fill in, and it takes a lot of time, and who has that kind of time right now to get it finished in a certain period of time. So now I have added my little orbs in the center, and I'm going to look around and see if I have some room here where I could do a little bit of an aura here. When you add these little bits of, an aura can add the detail that makes your pattern have more interest, eye candy. I want to make sure that I'm staying here with you and not moving off of the camera. And I have one more to finish right here. And now we're going to start shading. Well, if you notice on this sample that I did of IDOZ, I have a few orbs around the sides of this, and I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to show you how to do that, how I did that. First of all, I have this V in here. We can accentuate that curve with a little bit of ink, and I can put myself a little, we call this pattern tipple. We call this pattern tipple, and I can maybe give a couple of orbs here. I'm going to turn my tile, and I'm going to repeat the action right here. Give it a little bit of, we call this adding line weight, and an orb. And on Maria's drawing, she did a couple little squigglies on the ends of these floral pattern petals. I'm going to see if we have any room here. I'm going to put a little spiral. You could also give it a little bit of character there. And there you have it. Now let's do a little shading. Take a look at this. There's always different ways to shade. There's always different ways to shade. Here I'm going to come in around around the sides here of these orbs to give a little bit of depth. And I'm going to grab, let's see what else we could do. These are very small drawings, so it's a little difficult to add lots of detail when on these 2-inch. I don't know. At this point here, we'll put a little shading. And we're going to take our blending stump and I'm going to come in and I'm going to tease this graphite towards the center, little round circles, but you want to keep that center kind of light. Otherwise, you just don't have any differentiation. And I know that it's a small space. So what I do is I put my shading in, but then I come back and I'll show you in a minute. I have a little eraser. I think it's here. I'm also going to give this I try not to have a line where my shading stops. So I like to go in there and it should be gradual. And I have a shading class coming up in November that you might be interested in. And we go into that and I show you some shading exercises that you can do to get used to gradually adding. So this is kind of a line. So sometimes I might mix it like that, and then I would come through and brighten it up in the center to give it a highlight. Now, So there you go. That's IDOZ. On this one, I added a little bit of shading up around the outside of it, but I'm going to just leave this as it is. And I can't wait to see what you do. And I just want to remind you that we have another step that I almost forgot about. So important is to, first of all, sign. So the idea of Zentangle patterns is that they really don't have an up and a down, and so when you finish your tile, you can take a look at it, you can turn it different ways and see which way you would like it to be upward, where you're going to then put your initials. So I'm just going to initial real small over here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to journal. This is day, oh gee, there we go, day 4 IDOZ. And it was created by Zentangle. The date is the 4th of October 2024. Put the year and put your full name. And another thing I do when I work on a video from somebody else and I'm learning, I put the note on the back as well, because you don't necessarily remember. I want to thank you all for coming and joining me today, whether you're watching the live or the replay of it. It's also on my YouTube channel, and I want to suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll put that link in the comments below here. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I put new videos up on my YouTube channel. I'll see you tomorrow for another mindful drawing session. Until then, remember, one stroke at a time. Bye for now.